Gonna do? What are we gonna do about it? Whoa, buddy, we just screwed the pooch. Yep, it's gonna be a fun one. So what we're gonna be doing today is something a little bit different. We're not gonna tell you exactly how to build a wheel. We're not gonna go in depth on everything you need to know how to do it. I'm just gonna walk you through a process as I build this wheel. This wheel is not for human consumption. It is going to be on a trailer. Maybe I'll pull around a person in the trailer once in a while, but usually it'll be for rocks and firewood and other things for doing trail building, things of that nature. But we're starting with, so it's gonna be a two-wheeled trailer, so this is one of the wheels. I'm starting with a hub. I have the exact same hub for the other side. It's a 100 millimeter, 15 millimeter through axle, front hub, discs. I'm gonna, maybe eventually put brakes on it, who knows. But yep, we got this hub. We also we're gonna lace that up to this rim. So it's gonna be a fat trailer, 26-inch wheel fat bike rim. So we've got our rim here. We have our hub here. We've already run our spoke calculation. We found some spokes that were hanging around here at Park Tool. So what I'm gonna do, I like to hang out here like this. I'm gonna start from the flange side on this one. And so basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna drop the first one in separate from the rest. It doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna take a little handful of spokes here and I'm gonna start filling them in. So that's our first set of spokes. So I like to think of these as sets. That's the first set, I dropped them in. Second set's gonna be flip this hub over and they're gonna drop in from the other side. Third set, I'm gonna push up from the bottom and it's gonna be on this side. So first set is heads out. Second set is heads out on the opposite side. Third is heads in. Fourth is heads in. So those are the different sets. Let's find that spoke I dropped in first, right here. It's gonna be my key spoke. I'm gonna get my rim here. Got my spoke nipples. I'll pull these out, have these lubed. I also have some thread preparation on here. I've let it dry for a while, a few days. And now, just like that, thread it in. I'm gonna grab another one. And so I'm skipping 1, skipping 2, skipping 3, landing on the fourth one. Why am I skipping 1, 2, 3? Second one is gonna go for the set of spokes on the opposing side. Third one, the other set that's on the same flange. Third one is the other set from the opposing flange. Fourth one, where I'm dropping it here, is back to the same set. So every fourth spoke is in the same set. So I can get some moving along here. So I'm not using a nipple driver yet. So on these, I'm just trying to thread them in there, just putting them on, thread them down. I have this little tool I made. It's kind of handy, but you don't need it. A great tool that you can use other than this one would be a toothpick with the tip broken off. So we've got our first set of spokes. So what I'm gonna do, clock it, make sure all of my nipples are seated. A lot of times they get caught behind it. So what I like to do first here from this, instead of moving to the next set, I'm gonna put a little spoke in here to keep everything timed. So I wanna put this spoke in to this hole right here that's just right by the valve hole. I like to do that because it makes sure that everything is gonna go. I know it needs to end up there. So that's what I'm gonna do. And so I'm gonna pop it back through this hole. The reason I picked this hole is after I push it through there, I know that I'm gonna cross one spoke. I'm gonna cross one spoke, two spoke, and then end up in the hole. Then I can that. Just like that. So, and that kind of keeps the wheel a little bit wound up. This one's a little bit different because there's so much bracing angle on it. So let's go in next set of the spokes. Let's drop them in. All right, maybe just some feedback from you guys in the comments section. So this trailer, it started its life as a child trailer and modifying it to do a lot more than that. It was one that had a rip in it and it wouldn't hold any people anymore. So it made it into a cargo trailer. The wheels weren't that great to begin with, so I wanted to do something about it, and I am. But it's motivating me to kind of look at the whole trailer because this is taking quite a bit of work. So what do you guys think? Should we show you what we're doing to that trailer as well? Leave us some comments. So we're ready to start lacing up a wheel here. We're gonna cross these. Interlace is what we're calling this. So I'm going behind this so that these cross, and this is called an interlace. So when I get up here and I put this spoke, this nipple in, and I pop that in there, when this is all tensioned up, this is gonna have pressure on it. So they share a little bit of their job together, and it pushes this inner spoke out a little bit to give it more of a bracing angle. To do it on this wheel, I don't do it on every wheel build that I do. I've been testing a little bit without doing it, but I'm wanting to do it on this one. So here we are, we're doing it. All right, so let's get them all to a nice relative starting point. So how we're gonna do that, we're gonna pop this wheel in the stand here. This wheel, your left spokes when you tighten them is gonna pull the wheel to the right. Your right spokes, so it's gonna be a little bit different for tensioning, truing, and dishing. So we're gonna get everything to relatively the same point. Relatively the same point is gonna be pulling up these nipples to the end of the threads. So we've got these all up to relatively the same point, just till the threads are gone. These spokes are a little on the short end, not much, maybe a half a millimeter or a millimeter short. So right now, you can hear there's some tension. They're all relatively the same. Within reason. The way to really tell is to use a tension meter. So Park Tool TM1. I like to start at the valve hole, bring it up. We're almost at 19 there. I'm just gonna hit the ones I can get at. Some of these are kind of tricky. We're similar. So this wheel is almost fully tensioned, is what those numbers are telling me, and that's after I brought them up to relatively the same point, which tells me I have the wrong spoke length. So they're probably about a millimeter or two short. I probably could have gone a size larger. But it's already built, and I think it's gonna be just fine. So you can see that thing ain't straight at all. Not at all in the least bit. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kick these fingers down here. I'm gonna pull them in. I'm gonna do one side at a time. This wheel, with how these are laced, I'm not gonna try and true this wheel. laterally. To even get the correct tensions and to true it laterally, I'm gonna true this one radially, so up and down. But you'll notice when I tighten this, it pulls the rim away from the finger, upwards as well as inwards. That is the problem with this wheel. So, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do about it? Whoa, buddy, we just screwed the pooch. Yep, it's gonna be a fun one. It is all over. Okay. When you spin it, we got some back and forth, but we don't have as much as this. And all we've been doing is radially truing. So radially truing is just, on a standard wheel, it'd be the hops like this. When you're looking at the wheel in there and it's hopping, that's radial true. On these fat bike wheels, they can get like this, and they can start to get twisted, stuff like that. Lighter, thinner material, you're gonna start noticing it more and more. So, and it's almost the exact opposite. What you think it's gonna need. This wheel is backwards in almost every way.
Truman, what have you done? What do we have here?
We got an experiment, and you win some and you lose some, I feel like, I don't know exactly what happened. One's great, the other one's okay.
Yeah. Would it work? It's likely to work.
It's gonna work.
Let's review a little bit for our folks out there. What are these things anyway? One wheel here.
One wheel here, trailering it up.
It's a trailer, right? So that's going to be important about this build that you've done.
Yep.
So, but what kind of craziness do we have here? This is a little bit different.
Yep, these are a little interesting. So these, as we talked about before, these spokes cross to the opposing side. So from the right hub flange, it goes to the left set of spokes in the rim.
So we've got a 1 cross, 2 cross, and
these are true cross wheels.
But I would almost borrow somebody and then goofy footed.
Yeah.
You could borrow, a 2 cross, goofy footed. Okay.
It is goofy. Yeah, they're flip flopped. It's kind of crisscross. I'm calling it the jump pattern. Let us know what you would call this pattern. I'm calling it the jump pattern. Read into it a little bit.
Well, could it work? This does prove theory I've had a long time, and it is this. If you can connect the rim to the hub, it's probably gonna work.
Yep.
So have a quick peek at a couple of other patterns. You still see these. So this is, of course, the simple one, 1 cross, right? This
One
side,
cross.
simply radial.
Yep.
Easy to lace. It works. We connected the rim to the hub.
And that one doesn't have a ton of, speaking to torsional strength,
Right.
that one might not have as much torsional strength as other wheels.
No.
With more crossings.
This one's kind of fun as well. So with this flange, we have this tricon here. So we have one coming straight up and then a 1 cross. All right?
Straight up.
It does seem to work.
Yeah.
Holds the rim, people ride the bike. And what we've done, what you've done, created this wonderful work of art. Take this wide rim. So normally, spokes are here and here. What have we done here?
Oh, we've crossed them. So on this one, the flanges are narrow. That wheel that you just held up, wide flange.
Right.
The bracing angle would be insane on that hub. But with this hub, this bracing angle is not too far off from a standard bracing angle on a fat bike or, you know, a standard bike.
That's right.
It is a little bit extreme because it's crossing over, but it's giving a lot of lateral stability. And that's what I want in this trailer, is much more lateral stability.
So let's talk about, we're gonna have no disc brake here. So what's this torsional we're talking about that? What do we mean?
So torsional, like if you try and twist this hub inside of this rim, if these spokes were radially laced and going straight out, those spokes would maybe get wound up a little bit. The hub would spin and the rim might not spin with it right away.
Right, so remember, it's our grabbing the disc that's introducing that radial. The rim wants to keep going. We're holding the hub, that wind up.
Yep.
And then if it's a rear with sprockets, going winds this up and slowing, going and slowing.
So when you have a cross pattern like this, you've got spokes that are pulling. So when you are going like this spoke is going up here and it's pulling the rim along with you. Mostly, and then they go in both directions, so you can pull in either direction, which resists the force of either you cranking on the pedals or pulling on the brakes.
Well, let's review a little bit about truing this beast here.
Yeah.
So it wobbles this way, I need to move it this way. I'm gonna tighten spokes on which side? We have to flip our mind.
See, that is, it's opposite, and then you do things completely opposite as well. This wheel tensioned up really nicely. I pulled it up to tension, and it was out, and then as I pulled it into tension, it got better, and then I tried laterally truing it back and forth, and it got worse. So then I started radially truing it, thinking that so the left side of the rim was up, so I loosened a little bit of that tension, and it actually pulled it back straight. And this wheel came out just great. It's dead straight, it's great tension, it's a really nice wheel. That one?
This one will be okay when you use it, right?
It's gonna be fine as it is. I don't know. I don't think it's worth putting out much more time into.
It's gonna ride in. It'll ride itself straight.
Yeah, we'll let it tension up.
But remember, we'll talk vectors here, right? The pulling magnitude. So any particular spoke, it's pulling this way, it's gonna pull the rim over here, that way, tightening here, or loosening this one, will allow it to pull over. So it's definitely backwards. Plus, if we look at our patterns, let's see if we can see that there at home. Too close together, then we have this weird spacing here, and then two again, some wide spacing, and two again. That's got to affect the truing. So how the load spread around and how it's pulling. So good fun. You know, if you can connect it and do it and get it done, it should be done.
I can promise you this, these wheels are about 100 times stronger than what that trailer came with. So this is gonna be a burly trailer. It's gonna be one burly trailer.
If you have some names for this pattern out there, let us know.
Yeah.
And if you've made some fun patterns yourself, I hope, it's just interesting to do that. And sometimes it's a flop.
Yeah.
We've all done that.
Let us know what you've experienced in the comment section.
Right below.
Thanks for joining us
On Tech Tuesday.
Thanks for watching. You can find hundreds more videos like this one on our channel here on YouTube. And we're constantly working on more. So be sure to subscribe for the latest content for Park Tool. And check out our website, which has even more content to help you make your bike better.